Allow us to reintroduce ourselves as need be. We are the mob. We are the mob, right? And as you can see, I probably thought I was gonna be. It's gonna be a short show. We ain't got too much to do. We always got a lot to talk about, but we ain't gonna take us that long tonight. I don't think so. We addressing what we always addressing, man. Memphis, the real. And the numbers are in. Did President Trump make Memphis safe? Again, I'm gonna tell you how everybody feels about it. Everybody feels some type of way. Myself included, right? It's the mob. You dig? Let's get to it. Yo, 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 yeah. It's the mob. It's the mob, man. Doing what we always do. Um, it's just not really a shocking time for me. Right? Anybody know what we do, what we already talk about. But it seems that many people are shocked by what's going on. That means you have not been talking to the right people for the last whatever amount of years, right? Because for at least the last year, we've been talking about that here. And right, let's get to this. I'm just gonna got a few things to bring up. But yeah, I got the solutions. I got a few solutions for what's going on. In just 1 week, many people do agree, feel like Trump has made a huge difference. All right, we're gonna get to that. But the main thing, before I get to all of those, all of those, I think we're coaching during the game and not practice. That's just my opinion about what's really going on in the city. I think people are panicking because we lack practice, right? We want to coach during the game. And if you know anything about what we've already been talking about here for X amount of days or whatever months is training for this type of thing, right? Like I said, we want to like the best diet. I hate diets. The best diet is a lifestyle change. I can't even say the best diet. The better solution would be a lifestyle change, right? And then, so I feel like right now we're coaching during the game. And all of these things that we do with repetition and thought process, not being distracted by this, understanding these things. So when something like this happens to Memphis, you ain't shocked by it. You just keep doing what you've already been doing. Right? I see you, fam, for sure. Tafiti in the building. Yeah, it's a good night. So yeah, keep doing what we've already been doing. Repetition. No need to panic right now, because those who are panicking are going to fall for the trap that's already been set. So I just wanted to say that we're talking about practice. So what are we practicing? Right? That's the question. So I just had to start with that, because we can never get away from us, right? This is already, we're prepared for this, so it's really nothing to do. But we're going to go over what I mean by practice. And I got another solution. We're talking about focusing on you and your own and what you can control. And there's already an example of that happening right now in Georgia, like I told y'all I talked about last week, right? But let's get to it. So, the numbers are in. Y'all know y'all like numbers, right? 227 arrests were made, 65 illegal guns seized on October 4th, right? Right, so that's the first report as of October 4th, as into why people probably feel like Trump is making a difference, right? But you know the truth about making differences. We all know. You're the only one that really truly can. All right, so then 2 days later, a full report came out, including the report with the ICE warrants, right? And it said, I'm having a rough time tonight. So for the first time, the federal law enforcement arrived in Memphis a week ago, and the U.S. Department of Justice provided Monday a breakdown of the arrests made so far. As of Monday, over 80 people were arrested on ICE warrants. Right, that's crazy. In Memphis, that's the second highest group of arrests made by the Memphis Safe Task Force. One immigration right advocate told Fox 13 that they've seen ICE agents telling troopers making minor traffic stops, then detaining undocumented immigrants. So they're saying like ICE troops telling troopers behind them. So they're pulling people over and make sure if you ain't got all your paperwork right, they're gonna arrest your ass. So I'm just showing all these fear tactics that everybody from we deem our culture is being afraid. But I believe this dude by the name of Hamster. Check this out. So this is kind of proving what he was saying. This is how he pulled up on the state troopers.
HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, fucking ICE. It's no secret that y'all are targeting low-income black and brown fucking neighborhoods and calling ICE. Y'all aren't in fucking Germantown. Y'all are fucking terrorists is what y'all are doing. People are scared to leave their fucking house.
You see what I'm saying? He ain't scared. You shouldn't be either. But we got our people using this fear. They using this all like, oh, please don't go out. Don't hurt us. Oh, please. Oh, we're going to start marching like it's 1950 in a second. But yeah, we need this industry. I forget his name. I think his name's Hamster. On Facebook, I'm trying to give him his props, right? But yeah, shout out to that pull up on the state troopers. All right, so yeah, that goes to that. Now, we got some real good things. Now, there have been so many arrests. The plan is working so well, right? That District Attorney Steve Mulroy is citing numbers showing that court dockets being jammed with a 50% increase in more cases. He said that's due to the federal task force making hundreds and hundreds of arrests. So we're in the DA's office. We're proposing to do this without really asking for a lot of extra resources, a lot of extra money. But we want to add night court, right? So that's crazy. So they're doing so well, and they're celebrating everything that's going on with the plan that they're gonna add night court to Memphis. Now, when Mulroy suggested this, State Senator Brent Taylor had this to say. Night court, he said, hell nah, no, the night court. DML, you can't even handle day court. So they denied it down. And the real reason why it's real news is that he also said that it's just a another way of stealing money, right? So he said he accused Monroe of that. And we know a lot of that's going on in Memphis. So it's not a black thing or a white thing. So they will ask for money for anything. He said this is just a way to seek an additional funds for his office. So I thought that was very funny. But like I said, we're keeping it pushing. Not very long show. We're keeping it real. It might be 10 minutes, might be 30 minutes. You never know. But yeah, like I said, the plan is going so well. It's been so many arrests that Millington wanted to offer their help. Yeah, you see what's going on, Pete. Millington even got involved, said, hey man, look, if y'all ain't got enough room down there, we can provide you with some additional space to make your arrest, right? Keep that in mind. So y'all think this is all just made up or just something just on the spot? Nah. The Shelby County Commission approved Monday night an agreement with the city of Millington to provide 10,000 square feet of jail space to relieve overcrowding. Now, y'all think of this now. I know this is the old help feed the needy talk that I really don't push because I know the reality of life, that nobody really gives a damn about you but you. But it's the crazy that they donate space to jail people, but they won't donate space for homeless people. Anybody see anything? Like, I know one generates money. One goes with a plan to further push an agenda, right? Because it just can't be to help people. Because if that was the case, then you let them people sleep in there for free. It is jail. It ain't like it's the best conditions anyway, right? But it's just my thought. Somebody let me know why offer that kind of help and not the real kind of help. But we know I'm just my thoughts. I know the answer. But I just want you to think like I think so you can really see things for what they really are and understand that these things are not to help your ass, right? But yeah, it's been so many arrests. So many arrests. All right, so there's the NAACP and a few other organizations, right? Urged to get prepared to know your rights as a task force during the arrest time right now, right? So they were pushing this. They were like, all right, everybody get ready. And it was major, you know? And my thing about the NAACP chapter in Memphis is like, well, y'all always be. Like, I be wondering where they be chilling. And like, rest in peace to Young Dolph. It's just the first thing that comes to mind. When Dolph was had his turkey drive, y'all could have had that opportunity to be out there doing something to help endorse what he was already doing, right? Or just help endorse, where are y'all at? We need y'all at the mob. Where the hell is the NAACP? But when the task force comes here, they are going to push this fear and that we are being attacked, that we are being, picked on. And I understand those things to be true, but these things are not just true to now. Let me go back to this, and then I'm going to go back to what I mean about this. We're going to play this press conference, but what I say, this is not just going on. We talking about practice. We talking about practice. We talking about the mob. This is practice. So you won't react to this. You won't get angry. You won't be blindsided by, oh man, Trump is coming. Man, we knew about this agenda a year. Like I said, the people I talk to already know what's going on around the world, what's going on around the country. This is not shock. But we got mama at the press conference pushing fear. So the NAACP, I had to show y'all that because it's going back to practice. We're going to always go back to practice. But yeah, so the NAACP urged to get prepared and know your rights as the task force rolled in on us. Let's take a look at the chat mob before I make this point about what fear and how it's being perceived by others. Normally, when this country needs money, we go to war. Now this corporation has decided to go to war on the civilians, of course. Yeah, it's always been the choice. That's always been the case, right? But it's just so close to home right now. I mean, if you haven't been practicing, then you're gonna lose the game. So this came out. So I was like, the way that I found out about the NAACP having a press conference was I follow all news outlets in Memphis, right? And the Mighty 990. Yeah, they're white. They're not, I think they're white owned, but they also said this: the NAACP held a press conference in Memphis and advised their constituency to avoid arrest by renewing their driver's license. I think that's getting insurance and a car tag. They also urged citizens to check for pending warrants, I believe, and stay current on their child support. Made a complete mockery of it, right? We call that adulting. They like brush your teeth, check your oil, all of these things. I said, Dad, did the NAACP really go out and have a press conference and tell everybody to go get your driver's license, don't have a warrant, get your car tags? We already know the system, man. All of these things were put in place to arrest your black ass. Y'all ain't telling us nothing that we don't already push here. We don't need Trump coming through Memphis for us to know that all of these laws were put in place to arrest us. Gun laws. There were no gun laws before the Panthers picked up guns. You got to know these things, right? So they made a complete mockery of it. So I had to go check it myself. And we're going to check this press conference out, right? Just pieces of it. Because there's some important things that were said throughout it, right? But yeah, they really did say that. They really did tell people, occupation. Hey, pay your child support.
It's deeper than just the National Guard that they're sending. They also talked about all these different agencies that they're bringing in as well. And when you listen to the people who they said personally designed this plan, you know exactly what this is about. This is about white supremacy. White supremacist ideology believes that African Americans,
it's crazy. So yeah, I'm sorry about the
are animals.
But
so how he just
so they came through with this.
Quickly gave $100 million for law enforcement. They had the same ability to give that $100 million or $1 billion to our schools so we can educate our babies. For after-school programs for those boys who are 14, 15, and 16, they can have a job. They ain't out here trying to steal rims or steal your car. I see people every day in Memphis on the corner, little water boys that want to hustle and want to make money. There are lots of options of what resources can be implemented. But when you're dealing with a white supremacist, and when they think that the black people they're talking to are dumb, and when they have a mayor who's going to go along with it and not call them out on it because he doesn't have the power to stop them, they're going to say things like resources. Listen to that press conference, how many times you said resources, when in actuality, you're not talking about resources. There are resources that we need. There's resources that we've asked for.
It's unnecessary.
We need housing.
And it
we need education. We need teachers. We need opportunities for youth. There's lots of things that we need, but what you bring is soldiers and occupation. Because you do not believe that an investment in black people, an investment in our young black boys and our young black girls will yield results. Because you're a white supremacist.
I'm just saying, at this point, though, like
the only thing that can help the black man,
the black mothers,
more troops,
and talking like for the
more guns,
pumping fear,
more police.
Right? It's the same kind of little movement. Like,
but I'm gonna tell you,
the police, we are thick.
The day is coming.
Like, come on, bro. And then when the dashiki,
see you.
I ain't knocking them, but I support my own. But I'm just saying that the mentality hasn't
exactly what
this gotten old. Like, isn't this pushing more fear, like, in us? And I'm giving you something to say to build yourself up, to separate yourself from all of this. That's the only way, right? And I also give you the solution to separate yourself from all of these politics when we talk about freedom land. But we talking about practice. Practice is the only way. Right now, it's too late. Holding meetings and press conferences and that's done, man. It's too. By the time you in it, by the time Mama showing up, and y'all gonna see Mama gonna show up a lot at this press conference. It's too late. Mama, I know Mama love you. Did you get your driver's license, baby? You need to go down there. It's too late, Mama. We already knew they were coming. We got all our paperwork, right? We got all our paperwork because we know the agenda that's being pushed, right?
I have to ask, why here? Why now?
We ain't gonna play all of it. We're just gonna now watch Mama come up talking, right?
Memphis brand.
Have you ever wanted to see your home from space? With this free satellite Earth Maps tool, you can zoom right down to your exact address in just...
That's good, dude. Y'all know you got these.
Is very happy to partner with the NAACP, Memphis branch, and all the other organizations here. As we learn to deal with the situation that we're in, we are now occupied. And what we want to do at the Memphis Urban League and some of the other organizations is to make sure that our citizens are safe. Make sure that they have the resources that they need and the information that they need to be safe.
I mean, at this point, like, isn't it too late though? If you got people here already doing this, where were y'all when we already knew that people needed their driver's license and people needed why you need this paperwork and people needed a better mentality? Like, it ain't the time for this. But Mama gonna do Mama. Now I'm gonna go play what they were talking about. And then I'm gonna play you the real. Now, somebody got up here and told you the straight up truth. Now, this is what they were talking about it.
Needs to renew their driver's license. So can I
telling people to, get your driver's license. Like, come on, y'all. This is not the advice we need right now. Because I ain't knocking you. I appreciate the effort.
Everyone needs to renew their driver's.
Right, I appreciate the effort, Mama. Auntie, whoever you want to call you, whatever, sister. But this ain't it. This ain't gonna help. And then I'm gonna tell y'all something else with this. The people who you talking to, they never listen to this. They're not watching the news. They're not watching the press conference with the NAACP. The people who might have warrants, who might have a suspended driver's license, who may need some help getting there, or may need to hear that they need to do that, they're not watching this. That's why you got to get your ass out here. Because I've talked to a few that I said, hey, man, no, you can't do that. You need to go do this because guess what? I've been part of that system too. I know what it is to be riding around with the suspended driver's license, how one thing leads to another. For whatever reason I did, it was me being irresponsible, but I know how to tell you how to get out of it. And I'm talking to people who actually are going through it. But if you're just doing press conferences, yeah, your people your age, your peers, they watching the news. But the people who really need to hear it, are they paying attention to this? Hell no, y'all know it good and well. But look, check this out. This is what she said about, this is what they made fun of.
Driver's license, tags, and insurance. Get a passport, probate court clerk, Eddie Jones, 140 Adams. Keep birth certificates and social security cards in a safe place. Keep copies of lease, bills, or pay stubs for proof of residency and employment. Check for any outstanding warrant. If you got an outstanding warrant, you need to clear it up. Pay any fines, tickets, or court costs. Stay current on child support obligations.
This ain't it.
Child support too. Confirm your voter registration.
This ain't it. It's almost embarrassing. It's like what they said. This is what they said. Man, y'all, come on, man. This is why they said the NAACP held a press conference. Let me try to blow this up. Let me maximize it. To avoid being arrested by renewing your driver's license, getting insurance, and a car tag. They also urge citizens to check for outstanding warrants and to stay current on your child support. You know good and damn well that you got to do these things. So when they doing this, when you hear this, is why we got to have practice amongst ourselves, man. That's why steel got to sharpen steel. That's why we got to talk to each other, because we can't let mama get up there telling our business like that, making us feel like we lacking. Just straight up, dog. Like, what? Who needs to hear that? How is that helping? Man, but I'm gonna tell you what's gonna help your ass. Practice. That's crazy. So I'm gonna show you. I said I was gonna keep it a stack and
Memphis, what Governor Lee announced today is an occupation. It's deeper than just the National Guard that they're sending. They also talked about all these different agencies that they're bringing
mass
in
distractions, weapons of mass distraction.
And when you listen to the people who they said personally designed this plan, Memphis, what Governor Lee announced to Memphis, what Governor Lee announced today is an occupation. It's deeper than just the National Guard that they're sending. They also talked about all the
this is the real, and the real kind of
be able to get to your stuff quickly.
And when you listen to the people who they said
be able to get to it
personally designed this plan,
you don't know what mood they're in, what might happen. Just
you know exactly
have your
what
driver's license, your insurance, your gun.
This is about white supremacy.
But just and do it
white
calmly.
supremacist ideology.
Some people
believes
they immediately put their
the
hands up
African
or whatever.
Americans, the black people,
about black males,
are animals.
We black mothers, we have
how
to
he
teach our
just
sons and
Governor Lee
and
just
nephews and stuff. We have to
quickly gave $100 million for law enforcement. They had the same ability to give that $100 million or $1 billion to our schools so we can educate our babies. For after-school programs, so those boys who are 14 and 15 and 16, they can have a job. They ain't out here trying to steal rims or steal your car. I see people every day in Memphis.
Trying to get this right, y'all. But yeah, we got mama up there talking. Let me see. Why is it doing that? Why is it playing that part? But yeah.
HSI, Homeland Security.
Memphis, what Governor Lee announced today is an occupation. It's deeper than just the National Guard that they're sending.
Okay, that's why. Because I've been wondering why is they playing in the background. But yeah, 1 second, y'all.
HSI, Homeland Security.
Because you got to hear the real. Because he's about to come up here. The brother right there in the green, in the striped green shirt. Check out his energy, right? And what he said. I would want to give him an interview on the mob.
I can't say enough to stop, to pause, to think before you react.
They are energy vampires, for sure.
Thinking, and that can
Distraction.
cause negative actions. And be vigilant. Yeah.
Check this out. The black sheep about to come up to you. Check this out.
Good afternoon. I'm C.J. Crawford. I'm with the Vote 901. And I just kind of want to center this question about what you should do. I agree with everybody here that we should be trying to not throw our lives away when we encounter law enforcement. But I also want to center that this is a sad conversation to have, that you're trying to stay alive over a traffic stop. So what I want to say is be cautious and all of that, but also live your conscience. I refuse to be afraid that way. I'm not going to dodge eye contact with a law enforcement official. I'm not going to not assert myself. And if that gets me on the ground or death, I'm not making anybody a coward because they don't. But I also think it is wrong to ask our community to live in fear.
Exactly. Because you're not living. What you in fear of? Most things they're going to happen anyway. It's already written. So he's right. I mean, y'all up there just pumping the fear. Nigga, please, baby, mama, don't go out there, get your driver's license. And don't be, if the police pull you over, just do what they say. Don't get hurt. We gonna march for you. What year is it? That ain't been working. We trying to make you strong. Right? We need you at your strongest, man. Mentally. to understand what we, you can't have this old weak mindset of we gonna pray for you, baby. Just do whatever they say, please. That hasn't done anything. That's why these youngers don't listen to y'all, because y'all trying to put fear in them. And the warrior, the spirit in them is like, nah, I'd rather go at you and go at everything before I live in fear like that, because they know it's wrong. So ain't nobody worried about that. We're not worried about it. We understand the system that's already been made. See, that's why you got to go over practice, repetition to understand the system. So when these things happen and you being tested, it's easy for you to understand how they're going to, we study the police and the system, how they study us. Let the church say amen to that. We study the police and the system and the tactics that they use against us the same way they've been studying us for all this time. And we're talking about all people, how they got their algorithm and the things that they know about us. We have our own algorithm and the things that we know about them as well. So we're not in fear. We're in knowledge, right? You got to have that. If you know, you know.
Because you don't have ID, because your headlight is out. And I want to center there, the point of this is to make a public stand that this is wrong. And I don't stand for it. I don't support it. And I'm asking folks to do better politically. But in this moment, live your conscience. You have a right to exist without fear of your president, who is a convicted felon. You need to know that this is not about crime, because if he cared about crime, he wouldn't have called off the DOJ and litigating civil rights cases. But he did, right? And you could say, well, maybe that's because he's pro-police and he's against crime by civilians. But he pardoned, gave mass clemency to criminals who attacked 140 police officers. Some of them beat unconscious.
Y'all hear what this man saying? Who is this brother right here? Can we get an interview at the church say amen again? This man, the president, is a felon. Y'all telling me he's gonna stop crime. He gonna end crime. You know why he knows crime so well? Because his ass is a criminal too. And I ain't against Trump. I'm all for me. So it's hard for me to be against somebody when I'm about for my own improvement. But I'm just saying, he does pardon criminals that if you get along with him. Fact. But y'all gonna give him the credit for stopping crime in Memphis? Like, come on, man, be real. Hey, he up there preaching, though. Who is this man?
And into heart attacks. They were clubbed. They were hit with chairs. And he pardoned those folks. So the belief that this is about crime as opposed to about some autocratic regime, some approach to fascism, I just think is wrong. And so what I'm asking folks to do is just think, record, and live your conscience. If the most important thing to you to do is to get home no matter what, fine. But for those of us who would rather have our dignity, right? Like, it's not, we shouldn't be shamed either, because we decide that we're going to stand up or look folks in the face and assert that we have First Amendment rights. So what I want to say is this wrong. The president is wrong. I understand agencies. You may just be a conscripted employee, but you are a part of something that is systematically wrong. And so it's not just the U.S. Marshals, it's the DEA, it's the FBI, it's the conscription of our local sheriff's department. And so this is what we call systemic injustice. And what we want to see is social justice. So I don't want to just live. I want to live in an environment that's fair and safe. And so as I move into the next week, I'm going to do what black folks have always done. I'm going to help care for us, provide resources, let people know what their rights are. I'm going to film, and I'm going to assert my right to exist like every other person in this country.
Sounds like he was cooking. Sounds like he's saying he's going to keep doing what he's been doing. No matter who's here, we still got the same agenda we've been pushing. We still got... These issues we got, ain't nobody gonna solve that like in just one quick trip, 1 week here, no matter what people are thinking, right? But it was all for us to be prepared for now, have an understanding by why you gotta stay out of the system. Something my dad told me a long time ago. He's like, son, the system is so easy to get into, and it's hell getting out of. And I didn't think I really understood it when he first told me. But as I got older, and I started living, started doing things, I understand exactly what he meant when he said it's hell getting out of it. They just want your fingerprint. They just want something on you. They just want to be able to track you. That is valuable to them. Information. That's what this thing is all about. Tracking, knowing what you're doing. Now I got you in the system. You can't get out of it, and I'm going to get that money up at you. All right? So you gotta understand that. You gotta talk about it like that. You can't talk about it like, oh, them police officers, baby, they down there. And make sure you have it in the glove compartment before you reach over. You don't want to reach over too far. Come on, Mama. Nah, we don't need that, Mama. We ain't that scared. It is what it is, Mama. We warriors out here, Mama. We ain't worried about it like that. We gonna do it. We know what's up. I know what he's thinking. I know what he's on. See, that's how I think. That's how me and my partner think. We already know what he thinking. He thinking we slow. He thinking we dumb. He thinking we don't know what's really up, right? Because we ain't gonna talk. And then when he gets there, if you really know, it's no need to keep talking. You ain't finna be talking all they know. The law states that you cannot pull me over. No. We ain't gonna do all that. We got a response. We already know what to do, how to react to it, right? Simple. It's simple. So yeah, because we've been practicing. Yeah, we talking practice. You need to go practice. Because you a father or a mother or a parent, you already practice. You the head coach or something. You already got your squad practicing. So now the game ready. Y'all ready, right? You've been practicing. All right. So like I said, we're going to get ready to get out of here. I told you I was going to tell you how everybody felt. CJ Davis says, she says she feels the difference as a police department. We absolutely feel the difference. The chaos. More mama talk too, y'all. This is another mama. All right? We feel the chaos, the running from one call to the next. That's an everyday natural kind of change for our officers. It's like, yes, we can feel the impact. Now, Mayor Paul Young, I did an interview with Fox 13. He gave his thoughts as well about, he said he's seeing a tremendous reduction, but it's almost like if you lose 600 pounds and you lose 200, right? You need to lose 600 pounds, you only lose 200, you still have some work to do. And we have work to do here, and he said we've never shied away from that. What's up, JA Exclusive? Yeah, she said she's sick of CJ Dad. That's why I said I want to ask Paul Young, like, man, I thought she was an intern. Like, it just seemed to be the right thing to just let her go. Ain't nobody promoting the firing of nobody, but it's like, bro, if you really are trying to clean up things and make things right, she's associated with that injustice and that whole department. But it makes me think that, hey, Mayor, hey, maybe you ain't calling all the shots, right? Show me that you are, because if you were, you would have got rid of her, right? And she's not the problem, and you ain't getting rid of her though. But and that's on that political level. In the big picture, they're just gonna put somebody else right there that's gonna be the exact same shit as her, right? She's just a face. So that's not gonna help anything anyway. I had to say that, right? I understand we always want to see action, but you're not going to get it in that system, in that way. But how you could do it is through Freedom Land, right? Like I told y'all before we get out of here, Freedom Land. Now what you have to do is get your own land, get your own environment. That's cool. I don't think you've been in here since we've been talking about this, but this is what I always push. Getting our own district, right? Freedom Land, Freedom, Georgia. That was called the Freedom Georgia Initiative, refers to a project where 19 Black families collectively purchased land in Wilkinson County, Georgia, to build a self-sufficient community and a safe haven for Black people. Inspired by a desire for safety, generational wealth, and healing after the racial tensions of 2020. You know, following all the stuff that went on with George Floyd and all those things, I'm believing, right? Around that time. The initiative involves developing the purchased land into a space with residential, retail, and recreational areas, aiming to become a new city named Freedom, right? Freedom, Georgia. Now, I already came with this date. I ain't know about this, but I already came up with Cairo. Cairo being the city that, or Cairo, or Cairo, whatever you want to call it, being the city right across from Memphis. Memphis being an Egyptian city. Cairo being an Egyptian city right across from Memphis. So we're going to make Cairo, Peter. We gotta try to tell you about it. So the thing about it, like Freedom Land, they're pushing this, is a safe haven. The primary goal is to create a space where Black families feel safe, respected, and have human dignity. Let me give you another picture. You gotta see this deep Black family. Right? Have human dignity. Away from racial division. Also to create generational wealth. The project aims to build wealth for Black families by collective ownership and economic stability within the community. That means that we're gonna keep things circulating, and she gonna date him in this town here, and then we got the Johnsons down there, we got the Jones down here, you know what I'm saying? We got the Browns around there, and then we're gonna keep that going, we're gonna keep that money building up, right? And we're gonna have our own things to point. So when someone comes in, like we're gonna come bring the national troops down there, and we don't want them. Right? Because y'all ain't funding nothing here with us. We got our own. And self-sufficiency, the families envision a self-sufficient community, eventually providing its own services like law enforcement, a fire department, schools, and hospitals, right? And they said it was inspired by Wakanda from the movie Black Panther. And it should serve as a model for Black communities. I love it. What you got to y'all got a problem with it? This is the only solution that I could come up with. You gotta detach. And you see, the thing about this is it goes with the agenda of the whole idea of the body, the chain being strong as its weakest, strong as its weakest link, right? So the individuals, that's why we build the individuals up. And we get those individuals in the small community. We do this one thing one step at a time, right? We build each other up. But this also goes with detachment. So by building your own community, you're detaching yourself from the system and from whatever, needing all this folks begging for stuff. We need funding. We need, go check your glove compartment. Nah, we got our own sheriffs. We got our own fire department. We got our own. It's very small, right? But we've detached from the system, right? And it just goes along with the individual. You got to detach away from everything else and rebuild yourself and do for yourself, right? Appreciate it. I knew you're going to rock with it, right? We got to get our own. And we can do that within Memphis, too. It's going to be small. Think small, but it's a huge step, right? In the right direction. Right? Look at that. Look at that on the map. They on the map. Right? We could do the exact same thing. What's crazy is we got more resources here than they had there. We are very, very strong here in Memphis as a culture of people. And there's a lot of people that want to break away from all of these, stereotypes. Oh, you're a Memphian. Nah, we need more control of that, more control around what we doing, right? And it's happening. Now, they got whites only town. I talked about that. And they're going along with Trump and with the Make America Great Again. I think it's back to, I forget. Yeah, we talked about it on the mob, though. But back to the original land or something like that. But yeah, they can do whatever they want. We don't care about that. They can have all the towns they want. Everybody got their own Chinatown, Germantown, whites only town. It's time for us to get our own town and make our own decision because we got our own here. It looks that way, but is it really our own? Is it really our own? I doubt it. So that's what we practicing here. We practicing, right? For that time when this is the thing going back to practice, right? Build yourself up, get right. We practicing now. So when we do get this area, should this happen, you already know about it. We've been talking about it already. This is something we want. We don't let somebody else come in and tell you what they're going to give you. I ain't asked you for that. I don't care nothing about that. I didn't ask for the National Guard to come here. I want my own little property. I want my own land. I want my own freedom land. Take our money, invest it, buy our own property. We get our own share of our own hospital. Yeah, that's one. You like, damn, all those people in Memphis, that little bitty town? Yep, it's the beginning of it. We got control of it. And as it grows, we keep control of it. Oh, man, come on, y'all. It's simple. It's the only way. Practice. Practice. Like I said, we want to practice during the game. It's already game time. Mama tell you to go click. Make sure you ain't got no warrant, baby. Get on down now. We ain't worried about that. So yeah. Did Trump make Memphis safer? Hell no. Hell no. Just put more fear out there, right? And that's always gonna do something. But to make something safe, that's impossible, right? The people do all that. He ain't down here. He ain't even a citizen of Memphis. How the hell you gonna make something safe? But yeah, don't be distracted by it. Don't be fearful. Focus on you. Build yourself up. Get ready for when things come. Keep practicing. Practice on not being distracted. Practice on focusing on being the better you. Don't even worry about crime. You ain't making crimes. Why even worry about it? You ain't got nothing to do with you. Keep rocking with us. When the time is right, all these things that I'm talking about will make more and more sense, right? Anyway, I see y'all next week. It's the mob. Stay real, stay down. I'm gonna get back at you. Chill.